If I told you that our brains have problems by default, would you doubt that? Okay, maybe you will. So let me start by asking you a few questions. Hopefully you get to understand. Have you ever felt stuck in a mental loop, like your brain is wired to make the same mistakes day after day? And most times you feel like your brain is a runaway train, careening from one thought to another, often leading you down paths of worry, self-doubt, or even anger. Okay, let me paint a clear picture for you. So pause for a moment and imagine this. You're at work and handed a critical project to work on. Your mind starts to race, thinking, what if you fail? What if you're not smart enough to accomplish the goal or target? What if you make mistakes as you carry out the task? Your mind just becomes restless, like it's about to explode. Does that sound familiar? Well, I've been there too. But think about this for a moment. You. Finally having the power to actually choose your thoughts, to steer your brain onto a track of clarity, confidence, and smart thinking. That's exactly what we're going to explore together. The incredible power of cognitive restructuring. So today, you're the hero of this story. After carefully digesting everything I will teach you here, you'll learn how to rewire your brain to think smarter, sharper, and clearer, using wisdom that has survived thousands of years. Now let's begin your journey. Chapter 1. The actual problem. The human brain is wired to survive, not thrive. Under stress, the brain defaults to fear, distraction, or procrastination. But why does this really happen? Think about your daily life for a moment. How many times do you find yourself reacting impulsively, driven by emotions rather than logic? Perhaps you get stressed about a deadline, leading to further delay and finally to procrastination. Or maybe simple disagreements spiral into full-blown arguments. These are examples of how our brains can sometimes work against us. We often become slaves to our initial reactions, forgetting that we have the power to choose a different path. Here's what typically happens. Your brain's amygdala screams danger when faced with challenges. By default, it will always seek a route to give excuses and escape challenges. But over 2,500 years ago, Heraclitus said, "No man ever steps in the same river twice." Yet here you are, stuck in the same mental currents. What I have figured out is that our brains aren't broken. They're just running on outdated software, but we can actually upgrade them. Stay with me. Chapter 2. The opportunity to figure out the solution. There is something called neuroplasticity. It is defined as your brain's superpower. Aristotle once said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Your habits perhaps shape your brain. But what if you could change that? What if you could learn to recognize those automatic negative thoughts and replace them with more helpful, empowering ones? And how do you even change them? That's where cognitive restructuring comes in. It's like learning a new language for your mind, a language of positivity and resilience. This isn't some magic trick, it's a skill you can develop, a journey you can embark on, and don't worry, I'm here to guide you through the way. Socrates, another great thinker, believed that the unexamined life is not worth living. Cognitive restructuring is all about examining your thoughts and choosing positive ones that serve you best. And as we go further down these lessons, you will understand clearly. Chapter 3. Understand your brain and its plan. Let's dive into a little brain science for a moment. Your brain has these neural pathways like well-worn roads. The more you travel down a particular road, which in this case is a thought pattern, the easier it becomes to go there again. That's why negative thinking can easily become a habit. But the good news is your brain is also incredibly adaptable. This is a concept known as neuroplasticity. You can actually create new pathways and whole new ways of thinking. It's like building a new highway alongside the old bumpy road. The more you use that new highway, that is, your positive, rational thoughts, the more your brain adapts to the new environment, and also the stronger it becomes. Let's take a little dive into practical and actionable steps to help you spring into the right actions anytime. Step 1. Rewire your default mode. Start from always watching and reflecting on your thoughts. Here is how the pathway works. Your thoughts become your words become your actions become your attitude becomes your character, and your character eventually becomes your lifestyle and identity. You can now see how a little spark from just your thoughts influenced your whole life in total. To start getting things right, you will have to begin your approach to anything at all from a unique starting point. Once you have an overview of a thing, condition, or even a situation, start by pausing, taking a deep breath, and asking yourself, is this thought true? Am I thinking the right way about this? Is there more to this that I need to be aware of? What's the best approach to tackle this? Have I ever seen or heard where this similar thing happened? What solution was applied? What did the final result look like? This way, your brain will start to present you with reasonable, rational options to choose from. It will also prevent you from springing into impulsive actions that has a tendency to worsen things. Step 2. Hack your environment. Remember what Socrates said? The unexamined life is not worth living. The truth is, your environment shapes you, and to win over your limiting environment, you have to toss distractions and curate spaces that spark curiosity. Things like developing a habit of reading, having meaningful and intelligent conversations, asking important and thoughtful questions, self-reflection, and meditations will help your brain to develop positive energies. Step 3. Embrace deliberate practice. You see, it is not that we have a short time to live that is the problem. The problem is that we waste much of the short time that we even have. Mastery isn't anyone's talent. Every little step and tiny daily habits are what pile up to give you mastery on anything. Want to master your speaking career or talent? Start by presenting to yourself in a mirror, at least for 5 minutes daily. Want to become an author? Start by journaling down your thoughts and your daily tracking. Want to become a great leader and person of value? Start by reading at least 10 pages of a book and also watching informative documentaries and educational contents daily. When you start, you might actually think nothing is happening, but your brain will gradually start to take that new pathway, and it's just a matter of time. It becomes your way of life. Chapter 4. Identifying negative thoughts and overcoming resistance. Let's admit it, our brains hate change. For any change you want to initiate, your brain will fight you. But Buddha said, the mind is everything. What you think, you eventually become. So when resistance hits, ask yourself, what's the cost of staying the same? And what will it take to think and act outside the box? The first step to make any effective change is awareness. You need to become a detective of your own mind, identifying those sneaky negative thoughts. They often come in the form of, I can't, I'm not good enough, or what if? These are called cognitive distortions, and they're like distorted lenses that skew your perception of reality. Think of it like this. Your mind is a garden. Would you let weeds grow unchecked? No. You'd identify them and pull them out, right? The same applies to your thoughts. Chapter 5. The transformation of challenging your thoughts. Epictetus wrote, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to what happens that matters. Your brain can actually be rewired to default to solutions instead of panic. The will to win, the desire to succeed, those are the keys you just have to unlock. Here's where the real work begins. Once you've identified a negative thought, don't waste any more time. Just challenge it. Ask yourself, is this thought really true? What evidence supports it? What evidence contradicts it? Is there any other way this can be handled? Oftentimes that you'll find that these negative thoughts are based on assumptions, not facts. As Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. By challenging your thoughts, you're taking control of your happiness. This is where you start to rewrite the script of your mind. Taking any negative thought and reframing it into something more positive and realistic. For example, instead of, I'm going to fail this presentation, try saying, I'm well prepared and I'll do my best. This isn't about blind optimism, it's about finding a balanced perspective. Something positive to feed your brain with. The mind is everything. What you think, you eventually become. So, choose your thoughts carefully. Chapter 6. Living the new truth and putting them into practice. Now it's time to put these techniques into practice. Plato once said, the beginning is the most important part of the work. Now that you've begun, it's important to protect your new mindset. Start small. When you notice a negative thought, take a deep breath, identify it, challenge it, and reframe it. It takes practice, but the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Think of it like learning to ride a bicycle. You might wobble at first, but eventually it becomes second nature. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. So, don't be afraid to start over, to try again. Remember to surround yourself with thinkers, and also learn relentlessly. Chapter 7. The benefits of cognitive restructuring. Imagine finally being in a state where you feel less stress, more confidence, have improved relationships, and a greater sense of control over your life. You'll be able to handle challenges with greater resilience and make decisions with more clarity. You'll discover a newfound sense of inner peace. As Lao Tzu said, being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. Cognitive restructuring empowers you with both. Remember, cognitive restructuring is not a destination. It will be an ongoing journey that will last for a long time before your whole life naturally adapts to it. So, it's really important to be patient with yourself and to celebrate your progress along the way. But I must warn you ahead of time. There will be times when negative thoughts will try to creep back in. But that's okay. Just acknowledge them and gently redirect your mind back to a more positive path. Remember, the only way to do great work is to love what you do, and that includes loving yourself and your mind. By mastering the art of cognitive restructuring, you're not just changing your thoughts. You're changing your life. You're becoming the architect of your own mind, building a foundation of resilience, confidence, and smart thinking. You'll be able to navigate life's challenges with grace and achieve your full potential. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time you fall. Cognitive restructuring helps you rise. Here's one quick exercise to start with today. Think of a situation that usually triggers your negative thoughts. Now write down the negative thoughts, then challenge it. What evidence supports it? What evidence contradicts it? Is there anything that can be done differently? Finally, reframe it into a more positive and realistic thought. Do this regularly and you'll be amazed at the difference it makes. I'd really appreciate your thoughts in the comment section below. Share your story below, how you will rewire your brain starting from today. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tips on personal growth, development, and mindset mastery. Also, check out the links in the description below for additional resources. And remember, you have the power to rewire your brain and think smart always. Realize this, and you will find strength. Don't forget to subscribe, and together we'll unlock your full potential. Until next time, don't just dream, act on it.